statistics at the Melbourne School of Public Health and Columbia University. Ken's done a lot of work and interesting things. We're really done a lot of ghost mining, which is not what I'm going to talk about today, but there's an expert there. But he's going to talk to you about another important facet that you've heard a little bit about in the course, but in more depth about stopping.
Then I'll begin to talk about stopping rules. There are four reasons that I can think of why you want to stop a trial before it reaches the target sample size that you plan to begin with. We want to stop the trial for efficacy when the interim data showing that there's overwhelming favor. The experimental treatment is overwhelmingly favorable to an extent that the equipoise doesn't hold anymore, and it is difficult to justify randomizing half of the patients in the rest of the trial to the other arm. So this is the first reason why we want to start the study for efficacy, and this is a good outcome for phase 3 trial, because when you stop for efficacy, you declare a win for the drug, and you declare the win early. So this is a really good outcome. It is also a good outcome when you're stopping for efficacy in an early phase study, because what you mean is that you have identified a dose or a treatment that you can move forward with, and you're one step closer to success. So this is good. In contrast, the second type of the stopping rule stop when the interim data suggesting that it is unlikely that your drug will have a positive finding at the end of the study, and so it is futile to go to the bitter end, and so we must stop now. So this is a stopping for futility. This is, well, the futility is a negative term, but I submit to you that this is actually a good outcome because you actually find the right answer earlier, so that you can move on to other drugs, and we are looking at resources to other things. So this is also good. The third reason for stopping is when you have unexpected safety concern in the study. So this is risk monitoring, safety monitoring is very important, and it is often done independently of what you want to do with the primary endpoint. So, and this is something that Jordan talked about a little bit yesterday in the talk, so I'm not going to talk about that in the next 30 minutes, and but this is an important component of stopping for safety reasons. And the fourth reason for stopping is that, well, you start the trial, you run the trial for a few years, and then some new evidence happens, and then that makes the original scientific premise of the study no longer hold. So this is something that you don't hope it will happen, but there's really nothing that you can plan for when you plan the study, so I'm not going to talk about that either. So my focus of the next 30 minutes is really on stopping for efficacy and stopping for futility, especially when these stopping rules are related to how you're going to analyze your primary endpoint. So when it affects your terminal rate or your power, this is something that you need to be more thoughtful about when you plan the study. But let's start with something simple so that everyone's on the same page. This is one of the many trials, proof of concept studies I designed many years ago. It is in the stroke population, but you can view replace with the disease area, and it's for a drug trial, but you can think about a device trial too. So, and the game plan is very simple. With a new drug, we thought it's promising. The goal is to enroll some patients, to treat them with the new treatment, and to show that the treatment is good. Hopefully by the end of this course, you realize that showing a treatment is good is not acceptable as a specific aim. So you need to be more specific about it than just saying that the treatment is good. And so one of the things that it entails is that we need to define the primary endpoint precisely. And in this study, this is again in the stroke population, and the goal is really to preserve the number early on. So the primary endpoint is based on MRI, and the goal is to show that a few days later there's no growth in the effect size by imaging. And once we define the endpoint, everything is actually quite easy from there on. And so the specific question, the specific aim can be that we want to assess the response rate of this treatment. So this is a very precise statement. Or if you want to be more precise, you can talk about that we hypothesize that the response rate is greater than 30%, say 25%. So once you set what your primary endpoint is, you are on solid footing, and then everything from there should be relatively easy. Except that you go to your statistician's office and realize that, well, I want to have a sample size. Tell me what n is, and that's when the statistician start asking you questions that you realize that we're not quite there yet. So before I talk about the sample size, how to calculate the sample size, let me introduce some mathematical notation. I promise this is the only one throughout the 30 minutes, and you see the notation S with the suffix of n. So I call it S of n. So this is simply indicate the number of responders to observe in n subjects. So it's all here, right? So n. When you see S of n, it tells that how many people respond to the treatment in n people, and you want S to be big, right? You want to have as many responders as possible. That's your goal. That's the metric of success that you're going to use. Now, go to the sample size calculation. It can be very basic for some of you, but to me, this is like a cooking experience. To do sample size calculation, you need your ingredients. So you need to specify what is a bad response rate. So bad that you really don't want to move the drug forward. And so in this case, we have 25%. And then you need to specify an alternative rate that is good, so that it's so good that you don't want to miss it. So for this, we want to have a high power to detect. So the other key component is the power, which is the probability that will move the drug forward if the drug is truly working. And of course, the Taiwan error rate, everyone clear about the Taiwan error rate, it controls a false positive. So when the drug is not working, you don't want to make a false positive finding for more than 5% of the time. Or in early phase, it could be 10%, 20%. But these are the numbers that we need to come up with together, statistician, and I would say the error rate and power are some conventional guidance, but the response rates are something that we need to bring to the table before we can do sample size calculation. So this is like you prepare all the ingredients, and then the statistician shop is just to stir fry. And we have these four numbers, 62. That's the answer. And remember this number, I boldfaced it for a reason, remember 62, okay? And so that's good. So now, the job is that so far I tell you 62, so go enroll 62 patients, come back 2 years later, I'll tell you the answer, right? So that is not the approach I would propose to you, because you need to have one more thing to specify the trial. That is the go, no go decision, at least for the early phase study. In this context, a proof of concept. And the go, no go decision here is that we're going to declare a success or win, or like a go decision when there are at least 22 responders. So when S in the 62 subjects, has at least is greater than or equal to 22. So if you have at least 22 responders in the 62 patients treated, it is the goal. We move to phase 3. So this is as simple as that. Okay, so this is actually a good. There's nothing wrong with it, but a lot of time, I think we attempted to think that, well, 62 is not a lot of patients, but still, it can take you like a few years to, sometimes a few years to get to 62. So the question is whether we could, like, we look at the data, like somewhere in the middle, in case disaster happen, we may want to just stop it. And this trial was particularly relevant in that time because MRI at that time was a relatively new endpoint, so we really didn't quite know like how we would predict like whether it's working or not. So the stopping for futility. So this is the reason why we want to stop for futility. We want to look at the data somewhere in the middle, so that when things doesn't look good, we just cut the loss and move on. And so this is what we came up with in a what I call a two-stage adaptive design with a futility stopping rules. And so this is how it goes. So instead of getting 62 patients all at once, or like over a few years, and we first try to enroll 20 patients. And then after 20 patients, we have the rule saying that in the first 20 patients, S20, if we have less than 6 responders in the 20 patients, we will stop the trial for futility. Because it is an indication that even if we go on, it is unlikely for us to have a positive finding. So we will just stop there. And if we're lucky enough that we have at least 6 responders in the first 20 subjects, then we have to enroll another 51 subjects to complete to stage 2 enrollment. And then about 71 subjects, another 51 subjects. So that the total number of patients enrolled will be 71. So 20 plus 51. So stage 1, 20 subjects, we pass the futility stopping group, we move on to stage 2 with another 51, get a total of 71. And then the goal decision, which is again very important, is that at the end of the 71 subjects, we have additional 4 responders. It is the goal. Otherwise, no goal. Clear, right? So now we are presented with 2 different designs. One is a fixed design, 62 subjects, straightforward. The second is what we call an adaptive design with a futility stopping rule. And the question for us to consider is which is better? And well, you've heard a lot about adaptive design. So the textbook answer might be that, well, go with adaptive design. Why do we want to do that? So this is some very simple sort of mathematical reasoning for why we want to go with adaptive design. So the key line into number 40 here. So 40 is what we call an expected sample size for this design. Notice that the 2-stage design, you will never get 40. You either get 21, you either get 20 subjects when you stop early, or you enroll 71 subjects when you continue the second stage. Right? So, but on average, we give an index for the sample size for this adaptive design as 40. And the way it works is that imagine that you have 100 agents you want to test using this 2-stage adaptive design. And then if you move on, so most of the studies will have a futility stopping rule hit and stop at 20 patients. So and then of course, and you declare futile, and then you move on to other compounds. In some trial, you continue the second stage with 71 subjects with the red boxes, and you still declare futile because at the end you may have less than 21 responders in the second one subjects, and you still declare futile, but once in a while, you get some good story to tell. There are 2 trials here with that you continue the second stage and then you declare a goal. So if you imagine that you'll be running this 2-stage design in 100 compounds, the magic thing is that in these 100 trials, you will expect about 4,000 subjects. So this is calculated by 40 times 183 testing. So this is, although in each one of the trial, you can either achieve a 20 patients trial or 71 patient trial. But if you think of patients that you're going to test, you're going to we relatively precisely predict how many total patients that you will need. And so that's the math. And why is it better than the fixed design? Well, imagine that you use the fixed design of 62 patients in the 100 compounds. You need 6,200 subjects total. It is a tremendous reduction in terms of the total number of people that you will need to enroll to test to go through these 900 compounds. So you're reducing from 1,600 to 4,000. So this is what I call portfolio manager viewpoint. That this is a no-brainer. We want to stop for because in the long run, you really like to reduce the number of subjects for you to reach the conclusion. Well, that is never simple because if I go into a portfolio manager, if you're an investigator, if you live or die by your own compound, this may not be that great an idea. Think about it. 71, which is the maximum sample size you will need to declare a success in the adaptive design is greater than 62. So you need 9 more patients or nothing, because it's the same, like 80% power, 5% power error. And then what the whole of doing futility stopping rule is that you can stop early to declare no go. So there are two situations to begin with when you plan to study with an adaptive design for stopping for futility. Either you go with a sample size that's greater than you will need in the fixed design, or you can go with a really small sample size if you think that your drug doesn't work. So these are not very interesting position to begin with, and so from an individual investigator viewpoint, you may need to hesitate a little bit about why you want to do an adaptive design. So I'm not saying that there's like a general answer for this question, but this is something that you, as an investigator, you need to know what you're getting into by doing adaptive design. And but I think for the greater good, I think there should be some institutional or like programmatic incentive for investigators to do this sort of study so as to move the entire program forward. So, but I hope that the point is clear for you as investigators. Adaptive design might be bad for you in that particular trial. Okay. And this is basically a sort of story that we tried to tell a few years ago. There's some distance between the interest of the investigator and the greater community of developers. So this is my first example to illustrate stopping rules in futility study. And before I move to the second example, I just want to talk about some general rules about stopping rules. Again, stopping rules is one of the types of adaptive designs, and like other adaptive designs, according to FDA guidance, we need to prospectively specify the design at the planning stage. And what it means is that there are 3 things that you need to specify for a stopping rule. First, you need to state all the possible decisions that you want to make at the interim analysis. In this example, in the futility, stopping rule for futility, the decision at the interim analysis will be a no-go decision. So you need to specify all potential decisions in the interim analysis. The second piece of detail you need to specify in the stopping rule is that what is the evidence or data that will invoke this decision. Like in the examples that you have 6 or fewer responders in the first 20 subjects, that's the piece of evidence that you need to invoke this on. So you need to have the decision, you need to have the data to support the decision, and of course you need to justify all these parameters. And in the 2 stages design, you may wonder how come with 20, 6, and 71, right? So, but these are the numbers that I went through the calculation, show that the power is 80%, common error is 5%. So that is sort of matches the fixed design. So this is sort of generally applicable to all stopping rules that you need to think about, and actually general applicable laws that design to think about. Think about the potential decision,